What is up, Pokepeeps and Masters? It is Russ here, PokeRuss here, and we are back for Deck Tech Tuesday. Deck Tech Tuesday is a series where, you know what? There's a couple things going on with my channel, a couple changes and stuff like that. We're not all into all the changes yet. We're going to go live with it. It's going to go crazy. It's going to be awesome. So let's give a sneak preview into what is going to happen. And what do you think? What do you think? What do you think of this new layout? So this isn't finalized, but this is going to be potentially the style of the layout coming to you in the future once everything rolls out with the new style of PokeRussPlays and all that stuff coming to the channel soon. Let me know what you think of the new layout and everything in the description box down below. Do you like this, or do you like the old style better? Let me know what you think, but let's get back into Deck Tech Tuesday. Deck Tech Tuesday is a series where we go over a deck. Go over a deck. Over a deck either created by me and my squad, or by one of you guys. If you guys create the deck, obviously you guys submit it to me through one of a couple ways. You can check the description box down below to check out how to submit it. But if you submit it, all credit obviously goes to you, and we just dig deep into the style of deck and why it makes the certain moves it makes, the choices, the everything with the deck, and we just go. It's a dig deep analysis into a deck and why we're playing what we play. So this is a critical green-blue critical Oob deck. So Oob is a pretty awesome leader. The weakest point about him is his first effect. It has to attack a leader, which isn't a bad thing, but when you're trying to critical down your opponent, like this deck has a lot of critical, a lot of hand disruption, stuff like that. And when you're trying to manage that, obviously giving them free cards with your leader is kind of a butt kiss, but you're also drawing there, so I guess, I mean, if you're giving them one, you might as well give them one. You're negating a bunch of other stuff, so I guess it's cool. But untap 2 when he awakens, and then he awakens, he draws one on attack, and active main, choose one of your life, add it to your hand, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, return it to their hand, and then this card gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So, cool thing about this is, one, you can use this effect more than once. Not that I suggest it in this style deck, but you can use this effect to get rid of any blockers that you see that might disrupt you from getting your critical damage off. Obviously, they'll still be able to combo with them, but it's potentially worse. I mean, you potentially can combo over them where a blocker just kind of eats it. Like, you know what I mean? So, still strong, still amazing, and I mean, there's cards in here that kind of negate that effect anyway. So, let's go on to the deck. So, this is green-blue, using a lot of the new World Martial Art Tournaments cards to Oob's benefit and stuff like that. So, starting off with the discard engine, pretty strong. We're going with Trading Blows Son Goku. This card is pretty nifty. It's your standard turn 1 stats, can't ask for anything more. But when you play this card, if your leader is World Tournament, your opponent has 5 or more cards in hand, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it in the drop area. So immediate discard, pretty much out of the gate. Your opponent goes first or whatever, even if you go first. Pretty strong right there, because they're starting off with 5 cards in their hand. Before they even get to do anything, they're reduced by 1. 2, if they go first and they do kind of their kind of thing, they still might have 5 cards in hand because of all the draw drops that exist and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's not out of the gates even if you go second that this card isn't useful, but it's super strong. Like right out of the gate, you can just open up, boom. What? They're already down to 4 cards. You're already plussing in that aspect. It's like a native draw drop, which is pretty cool. Our other turn 1 hinders them pretty hard with Newfound Power Son Gohan. So this deck is pretty cool where it can, obviously it's green-blue, so you're wanting to mitigate their hand size and stuff like that, control their hand size while you're giving them damage. So even if like a Hercule deck sits there and gains a lot of hand through its effects and all that kind of stuff, you're still damaging them without giving them benefit. So it's still, in the long run, giving them less options than they could have had, which is what this deck completely is all about. So, pretty cool. And I mean, this, like, a Hercule deck down the line, you can just drop a bunch of these and just go minus, 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 minus. Pretty freaking strong. Again, this isn't just against Hercule. This is against other decks too. Pretty strong. We'll go over a cool little combo with this later. Your next card is your Hone Moves Yamcha. I never thought I'd say how good a Yamcha card is in this game right now. Absolutely insane, the membrane. 2 green, 1 anything for a critical, Okay, turn 3 critical, pretty nice. When you play this card, you choose the life added to your hand, right? So it's Self-Awakening, and if you do so, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, places in the drop area. So, boom. So right out of the gate, they drop a card. You gain a life, +1, -1 to them. If they don't block this, which they almost have to. But the thing about critical is, either way, even if they use Combo Coup, like even if they block it with Combo Coup, they still ate a mana to do when you got rid of the Combo Coup. Like there's still mitigation there. There's still mitigation there where it's just super powerful. Like either way, this card is essentially eating 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. I think that's it. That's crazy. And Self-Awakening, absolutely insane. So, another World Tournament card. Next, we have, this is the card I'm missing one of these, but we have Destined Conclusion Hero. It has Barrier, pretty much vanilla after that because we're not running a green leader, but, yeah, pretty strong. Like, it has Barrier, and it's used to set play. We're only running a 2/2 engine because, one, this is kind of vanilla to us, and 2, if you pull this off, it's super strong. If you don't pull it off, you can just kind of charge it and not feel bad about it. But if you see the option, I'd say go for it, because the curve here is pretty strong. You drop this on turn 3. So you have your turn 1s and turn 2s kind of doing its job, kind of mitigating the field. Your opponent's trying to catch up. You drop this turn 3. You drop Annalise turn 4. Okay, so you're still having, if you can have it, you have your turn 1s and your leader and do all that kind of stuff, putting in the work while this kind of sits here for a minute. Annalise comes in, also has Barrier, double strike, and when your opponent combos, choose 1 card in their hand once per turn and place in drop area. So there's extra mitigation there. Every time they want a combo to get over something, like if they want a combo to get over this, they're dropping 2 cards of that. What? 2 cards just to get over to stop 1 Yamcha attack. 1 Yamcha attack. What? Absolutely crazy. So this is like a faux critical in its own right. If anybody used to play Kaijudo, this card kind of reminds me of Andromeda. Obviously not as strong, but we'll finish off the curve with 2 copies of Destined Conclusion Piccolo Jr. This card has critical, and when this card attacks, choose up to one of your battle cards and one of your opponent's battle cards and KO them. So 1, KO something. Both sides of the field. Obviously doesn't skip Barrier, but that's cool. If you KO'd your Destined Hero, then for the duration of the turn, this card gains 10,000 and triple strike. So critical, triple strike, 30,000 before you even combo. Then you have this guy on the field. So their first combo cost them an extra card in hand. You're already hitting 30,000, which is straight off the bat. You're saying, I'm gonna have to combo less than you, forcing them to pay extra to combo, and you also blew up something on board. What? This isn't actually your game ender, but this is a super strong option. Like what? Absolutely insane. Like they're just eating. They literally almost have to eat the 3 cards right there. Either eat the 3 cards or they're mitigating almost 3 cards in hand. Like 3 cards or more in hand. So absolutely insane. That's kind of like a really, like, this is obviously really strong without this little combo here, but this just makes an entire package combo just absolutely, you want to cry. So next is Announcer Play-by-Play Pro. We have all these World Tournament cards here, minus the Annalise and the Gohan, but when you play it on your turn, if you have 2 or more World Tournament cards in play, you draw 2 cards, just plussing while your opponent's minusing, absolutely phenomenal. And 2, it's a negate. It's a vanilla negate. No matter what cards are in your mana, it's a vanilla negate attack. So, we'll get into the combo with this in a minute, but it's pretty strong. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Hidden Power Supreme Kai. A couple of the cards in the deck obviously don't have double strike. Critical plus double strike just is absolutely insane. It forces your opponent to, 1, either take double strike critical damage, or to just blow that many more cards in hand. So this is a 110. Obviously, if it's turn 3 or whatever, and you're able to combo with this, and that just makes it so your opponent has to probably drop 2 cards to, like, it's all about using these cards to make them drop the same amount of cards. It's absolutely insane. So you're dropping 1 card here with the critical, for them to drop a minimum probably of 2 cards, which is absolutely insane. The super combo we chose for the deck was Chi-Chi. 1 she's green, doesn't really matter what it is, but you can activate it at 5. Pretty cool. Probably never going to use it at 5, but you have the option of using it at 5. Next, since we're using Oob, we're using Oob's special power, which is the Shock It Latent ability. So this is your combo coup of the deck. Obviously, you can only use it with... Actually, yeah. Well, I mean, you can use it to combo with during your other things, but your Oob gets stronger. But super nice. So if they run over one of your other things, you can play this. Obviously, he's not getting the boost, but he'll get the boost and you still draw a card, and then they won't want to attack your leader. So, super strong. It's your combo coup of the deck, because we're not running regular combo coup because the blues and the greens are so important. None of the blues cost more than 1, but all the greens cost pretty much 2 or 2. So that's pretty important. We're running 3 of those. We're running the untap engine, so we're running 4 copies of Sensubin, 4 copies of Unyielding Trunks, and 1 flute, just because, I mean, it's really freaking strong. Turn 2, if you can go, turn 1 you hit them with this. Turn 2, you play a Gohan, you attack with it, critical, take life, flute, Gohan back to hand. Obviously strong, super strong plays. Super duper strong plays. Plus, if another fun thing with flute is, right, you're sitting on okay, actually we'll get into that in a second. So obviously super strong in this deck, right? And flute. We're playing 3 copies of full power energy to stop those super aggro plays and negates. Obviously you're playing the green turn 1, so you're probably, this is just live. It prevents crazy shenanigans from happening with Bardock players. And then you can run any combination of these, but this is the way I just chose to run this. Oh, yeah, we're running 2 Courageous Heart Yashirobis. Blue and Revenge. Blocker, Revenge, boom. Can't say, that's pretty much, I can't say any more about it. I'm sure there's potentially other options that can be ran, but I think that's super strong. So we're running 3 black cards in the deck. We're running 1 Desperate Onslaught and 2 Scientist Fu. Obviously, Scientist Fu, standard, pretty strong. You draw 2 cards, which just, man, you draw 2 cards, you're set up to win. You're set up even better to win, especially when you're criticaling them the entire game. It's just super awesome. Plus, when you're comboing and stuff like that, you're just powering it super quickly. Or you have Desperate Onslaught, Bardock, turn 4, critical. 1 critical. Do I need to say more? 2, when this card attacks during the turn you used over your opponent may not combo with battle cards or activate blocker for the. Combo with battle cards from their battle area or blocker for the duration of the turn. So this is pretty much, I do all my things, and then you still have blockers left, boom. I drop this, you kind of can't do anything. You're just kind of saving your blocker because you knew I had Overrun, you're thinking I was going to sign this Spoo, but I dropped Bardock instead, so you're just kind of boned out the butt. So, ace spec combos of this deck, right? Okay, so turn 1, I can play this, right? Turn 1, play Newfound Power Sun Gohan. I went second, so I attack, take a life, critical them, combo with this. Untap my mana, and then during my opponent's turn, they're obviously going to try to run over this. They want to get rid of this as fast as possible. They don't want critical, they don't want me taking life. I have that untap mana, so I negate. Like, super strong play. Pretty, like, beautifully strong, and you're set up with 1. So, that's in play. Next turn, you can drop this, and then if you have another one, you can just play this plus 2 cards right there, right? Okay, so other option. Turn 1, you go first. You drop Trading Blow Son Goku. I'm sorry, you go second. You still go second in this circumstance. But you can play it obviously later. So you drop it, you attack with your leader, you play Trunks, untap. Their turn, they go. They're like, okay, do my thing. I have a critical of my own. I have a Kaba. I have a Gohan. I have a hand, all that kind of stuff, negate, right? So right there, you're walking into turn 2. You can come in, play a Gohan, you can play an announcer +2, +3. Like, what? What? Absolutely insane. This deck has one of the strongest turn 1, turn 2 openings in the game if you pull the right cards. Obviously, you can, like, a thing you can do with this is like, okay, I start off, that's another option. So, start off, trading, win second, trading blows, attack with Oob, untap my mana, play this on their turn to negate the destruction or their whatever attack, and then just drop this for turn 2, play this, +2, boom, and then drop this. You just, thank God this isn't at 4. Thank God this isn't at 4. So those are just some of the super strong plays that this deck can make. Obviously, there's other strong plays like as you get later game, but that's just the super strong opening. Let me know what you think about this deck in the description box down below. We're probably going to do at least one deck of new set before new set releases, so hopefully we'll have this layout. What do you guys think of this? Like I said, what do you think of this new layout? Do you like the old layout better? Is there anything you'd like to see on the channel regarding the Dragon Ball Super? The channel is kind of curved in a way of TCGs more, so not only do we have this, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, we have PTCGO, and maybe dabbing our toes into a little bit of Magic Arena as well. So this is a huge TCG channel. If you guys want to check it out, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you like any of that content. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.